which, because there were so many zerglings and roaches that he was attacked by, it's a good idea. I really like that as a response. Throws a barracks onto the reactor, which I'm also a big fan of. It says, okay, well, I'm not making marauders, so why have this barracks sitting on this tech lab? That's a lot of, I mean, a lot of people forget to do that sort of thing late in the game, myself included. But okay, so good move there. Excellent game sense, I should say, by KillerB to move that barracks over. There is still one barracks on a tech lab, and I'm actually kind of curious as to what this is doing. Like, it's building a marine, right? So why is it there? Are you going to research concussive shells? I don't think he's made a single marine or a single marauder in this entire game. So yeah, that could be moved over. You got an empty reactor. So and then of course you have to have a plan. You can only have 2 factories going. Shoot. So this is Eladimir actually did a drop over at I'm gonna rewind that because this is actually a fairly interesting part of the game. So we've got KillerB focusing on getting his SCV there. I think building a supply depot or something like that. Yeah, he's got his factory queued over there. We can see he's being attacked, so yep, there goes the attention. KillerB didn't even really see what happened, but you can see infested Terrans there getting plowed by the planetary fortress. So no real damage there. Good bunker placement, although nothing sitting in this bunker here. So KillerB's actually kind of lucky that that it wasn't an armed attack, like a Zerg army that attacked that expansion, because there's only, you know, the one bunker up, but with a planetary fortress there, still pretty good. Like they're pretty safe. KillerB, as we saw, was caught completely off guard by this drop, and that's just watching the mini map, which, you know, I can say that I myself not very good at it, but yeah, it's hard to, I mean, get attacked in 2 places at once and notice, but that's one of those things where your eyes have to have the your eyes have to be able to focus on 2 things at once. Now, I don't know. I kind of like the supply depot placement on the planetary fortress, and I kind of don't. And the reason for that is that I'm just going to pause this to talk about it. Because when you select all your SCVs and go to repair your planetary fortress, the question is, how much surface area are you losing, and can your SCVs get to that? It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get through to repair, and so that's one of those things. Like, you want to keep these supply depots like 1 square forward, and then what they also do is prevent roaches from standing. Like, roaches can stand here and hit here, but roaches can't really stand here and hit the planetary fortress. And also the SCVs will be on the inside repairing things like that. So I'm not sure if I like the building placement here. It looks like there's a gap there between the turrets, so that's okay. And it looks like there's a gap there. Really, this supply depot here is the only one that might be a problem. Anyway, continuing along, still got a couple Zerglings to clean up for KillerB off of this drop. Well defended. Didn't lose a whole lot of things that couldn't be rebuilt. Lost a reactor core, which just takes a long time before you can start pumping out units again. But he does have 2 Banshees that are still coming out. Marines were already building, they're coming out. And more Thors, Terran vehicle weapons level 2. And so again, KillerB doing a good job of staying on top of his macro. He decides to build a 4th base, which, I mean, the 4th base is a good idea, obviously, right now. He should feel pretty safe. He's actually held off pretty much any attack that Eladimir has sent at him, which hasn't been much. So the question is, you know, when you're KillerB, you kind of say to yourself, okay, well, what's defending that western base? Probably nothing. So in order to keep Eladimir from going and taking out that base, I'm going to have to be aggressive, which is exactly what KillerB does. Because by moving forward, he's actually going to force Eladimir to stay on the right-hand side of the map, which is obviously as far as he can be from the left-hand side of the map. So, takes out that little scouting Zergling there. No problem with that. Obviously, it's a good move. He notices, you can see from this, there's been no creep spread. Even though Eladimir has lost his base there, creep spread has completely ceased. And that is definitely a good sign for the Terran. They, you know, it'd be a good place to have siege tanks. But obviously, siege tech is not researched, so can't put siege tanks up there. Yeah, so KillerB gets in this battle. I see a whole bunch of infestors. Banelings get caught in the back. Really, really unfortunate. So they're just gonna get picked off and do no serious damage. I said unfortunate, like, but kind of like you don't want your Banelings to get caught in the back. Now we've got 5 infestors. They have nothing to protect them. Get a decent fungal growth off, and after fungal growth, I immediately start thinking, okay, how is my mech doing? Do they need repairs? And so we'll take a look. But I'll just switch over here for a sec. Yeah, look at the mech. Look at the HP on that. And where's the repairing SCV? There is none. Is there any on the way? There is none. So that is definitely something that you need to keep presence of mind, especially against Zerg. So KillerB, what I would say is, if you're playing Zerg, well, with infestors, put some importance on SCVs. Where are my repairing SCVs placed? Can they come in and do repairs? And having, so I'm just going to pause this. So, and you need to pick an SCV, like basically a repair depot. Where are you going to get your auto repairs done? This is a good spot right here. Why? Because you can fit 5 SCVs, and it's damn near impossible to scout by the Zerg if they don't want to go between your army and this off creep location. So even if they've got an army coming up this side, yeah, okay, you could lose your SCVs, but you also get the advantage of your army, no creep, his army. So that's what makes it a good strategic location. And what is the one resource you can put there? Repairing SCVs. So anyway, little point there. Great fungal growths, and again, we'll just take a look at the HP tabs. That's gonna take out all that mech, like the Banshees and some medevacs and things like that, and also it's gonna tax the medevacs on all of their energy, which obviously repairing SCVs aren't gonna help a whole lot with. And let's just take a look at the troop placement. What are we saying with this troop placement? We're saying we don't fear Banelings. Marines in front, Thors in the back. So this is just another thing I was thinking about when I first cast this game. Marines in front, Thors in the back means we don't fear Banelings, and we fear Neural Parasite. So I think this is actually a good formation right now, because we have seen a Neural Parasite or 2 go down, I think, from the infestors, and if we see a fungal growth go off, We don't want it to be a fungal growth where banelings can come in and do a whole bunch of damage. So anyway, like, we would rather have, I don't know, I kind of lost myself there. All I'm saying is Thor's in the back means I fear Neural Parasite more than I fear banelings. And when you have 4 Thors and 5 Marines, that's exactly correct. You want your Thors in the back and Marines in the front. So yeah, as far as the attention is concerned, it looks to me like KillerB decided that the rest of those Thors were a lost cause, didn't even try to save them. I'm not sure why that is exactly, but I mean, 4 Thors, not usually something that you want to just leave to die, but maybe they weren't fast enough to escape. Anyway, the roaches would have been able to chase them down on creep. So yeah, you could just say, okay, do as much damage as you can. Trying to run away might just lose me my Thors and do no damage, so I don't have a problem with that. That was, you know, you can cut your losses, especially with as huge a macro as you have. Now, the question is, where's the scouting? You have Banshees. You have, I mean, Banshees can be very good for keeping map control, especially because you could cloak. If you cloak a Banshee and scout with it, you could actually find the location of expansions and things like that without Eladimir being alerted to it, because obviously your unit is cloaked. And there's a big difference between scouting something and being caught scouting something, especially when you're playing against Zerg, because when you scout something and a Zerg notices you scouted, he can be damn sure that you're going to be sending troops over there, and he can pin you in, because Zerg units are generally so speedy, especially on creep. So I'm going to go back and just take a look. Looks like a couple scans were used. Yeah. So, okay. Just as I say, where's the scouting? KillerB goes ahead. You know, I'm giving my big spiel about, okay, use your Banshees to go scout. But, yep, KillerB scans there. Scans there. Sees that there are base number 4 and 5 going up. And what is his reaction? It's not go attack, it's actually go make your gold base. And that's as good a reaction as go attack, because, you know, you can be fairly sure that an attack's, well, yeah, I mean, he doesn't really fear an attack because this base just actually got up down at the, what is that? That's like the 5:30. I don't know if you want to use the clock. It's like halfway between the 5 o'clock and the 6 o'clock. That expansion, it went up and had no drones at it, so Eladimir should be in the midst of actually droning up for that. But so KillerB actually knows how important it is to get that gold expansion up and get a planetary fortress there. And because it's right in the middle of the map, it's going to be a base of operations from here on if you can get a planetary fortress up. So I like that reaction to seeing that a 4th and 5th base are up for Zerg. Is okay, well, let's get my planetary fortress up at the gold. Might have a bit of a reprieve from an actual armed attack. And now we have Broodlords showing their faces for the first time. And what's the reaction to that? I'm curious to see if KillerB is actually going to get any Vikings, because the Thors are doing an okay job, but I think the Broodlords can actually be microed to outrange Thors and hit the Marines in front. So the Broodlords are actually doing a good deal of damage. Fungal growth pinning the Thor back, doing again some decent damage to the Banshees. And take a look at that. Yeah, all the mech. That Thor is damn near dead, and all those Banshees are badly hurt. We got a medevac with what, 2 hit points, so he's you know, could barely be considered alive. KillerB has a couple of turrets up, and here's another thing. KillerB, take a look at the income tab. 83 harvesters to 47. Of course, KillerB, you don't know that there are 47 harvesters only for the Zerg, but I'm sure you'd be very happy to see. But you have 83 harvesters. So how many of those can be used for repairing? And different repairing, you know, different repairing locations. What do we need the repairs at? Generally, it's missile turrets on the edge of your base. So, just pausing this, we have an SCV there. He built that missile turret, but he was not put on auto repair. And you can always put a couple. This SCV should be putting up turrets. There's no turrets here. There need to be turrets here as well, and not only because of Metalisks, but also because of burrowed infestors. We know that Eladimir is doing infestor play, so these guys have been up and did not make missile turrets yet. So really, really good transfer here, and that is, I mean, you want to take a ton of SCVs and go mine this out as soon as it's up. Command center should be going into a planetary fortress. It is not. Roach's attack. Let's take a look at KillerB's camera. And yeah, he spots the roaches. He's going to have to move all those SCVs out of there somehow. They are going to be faster than the roaches off creep, though. So I believe the SCVs are going to get out pretty safely. Missile turrets. Oh no, those are a bunch of reactors, I think. Going on to the barracks here. Just take a look. Yeah, a bunch of reactors, because we're going mass marine. So, yeah, definitely need those reactors. You have your 4th base up. You have a base at the gold mineral patch. So, more reactors. Good work. Missile turrets go up. And that's... well, one of those missile turrets is unfortunately blocking the way to the Vespene gas here. So that's a bit of a mistake, but you know, you just throw up some fast missile turrets in the midst of your massive 80 APM. So yeah, what do we have here? Ton of gas. So wouldn't mind seeing a Raven come out of one of your starports with a tech lab. But more battle cruisers, more Thors, not a bad way to go when you're heavy on gas. Just a whole lot of barracks. Nothing still is hotkeyed. So I mean, you know, I guess we can tell from this that you don't use hotkeys for your buildings. You need to have all of your barracks on one hotkey, all of your starports on another hotkey, all of your factories on another hotkey. To stay on top, I mean, this is insane macro mode right here, with how many bases you have, the gold mineral patch fully saturated. So, yeah, just, I mean, it takes up enough of your APM, just going from base to base to select all your buildings and build crap out of it. You should be watching these roaches kick the shit out of your SCVs. You should be, you know, instead you're skipping from base to base, selecting buildings and then building stuff out of them. You should be able to do all that just selecting your army. You could be on the offensive, you could be attacking, you could be moving them to go defend your base and hit, say, 3 TT is going to get you 2 Thors building in your factories, you know, 5 BB, etc. Don't think I need to say any more about that. That is probably the one thing that you should be working on for the rest of your for the next ton of games that you do, is, you know, get those hotkeys going. Got 3 Banshees hotkeyed. That's about it. Whole army's on 1 hotkey, which I'm fine with. I mean, I do that myself, but eventually if you have things that, you know, if your battle cruisers are overriding the cloak of your banshees, then obviously you need your banshees hotkeyed, which you have. So as far as your armory hotkeys go, you know, use 2 hotkeys or something like that. But yeah, that planetary fortress can defend itself pretty well. Do we have a planetary fortress here? Yes, we do. Lots of turrets. Good work. Anyway, Eladimir has already GG'd. He neuroparasited 1 battlecruiser, which, as a Zerg, you want to neuroparasite at least 1 battlecruiser. If you've got neuroparasites and he goes BCs, there's nothing more fun than neuroparasiting those things. Especially, look at that. He should be Yamatoing though. Oh, but I think he's already quit the game. Anyway, yeah, so KillerB, really solid game. Obviously, like the macro timing and things like that, amazing. SCV production, really amazing. And staying on top of unit production, really good. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of times when stuff wasn't building out of your buildings, but as far as the macro goes, it would make it so much easier for you if you hotkey all your barracks, hotkey all your factories, hotkey all your starports to 1 button each. And then, like, you don't have to be bouncing around from one base to another this whole time. Like, you could have never had to look back at this base except when it was being attacked. So, yeah, really well played. Could have probably gone for more. Well, okay, you didn't need more gas production. Really heavy Marines, and because they were so well upgraded, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, let's see, 3 starports, I believe. 3 starports and 2 factories. Your mech army could have been going way faster, and it could have backed off on the Marine production a bit. And yeah, and SCVs. Look at this. You don't need this. Just swipe, like, you know, 4 or 5 of these guys and make sure that they are on follow on a Thor. Have your repairing SCVs hotkeyed, because you're going to select everything and go attack, and then your SCVs are going to lead the charge into an attack. So you have to be able to hit, say, you know, hit 8, pull your SCVs, or put your SCVs back on follow instead of running into an attack. But yeah, aside from that, the repairing SCVs needs work. Your hotkeys need work. I don't think you went turret crazy at all. I think it was a good amount of turrets, because you had the money to spend on base defense, and that just allows you. I got like a snow truck or something going by my base. But anyways, yeah, look at this. Only 3 turrets here, or 4 turrets, spaced out pretty nicely. So that's going to protect you against anything burrowed and things like that. Only 2 turrets here, and at your main base, there's 3 turrets there, and then you went for a couple on your borders. And even, you know, by the end of the game, despite the fact that you got Nidus wormed, you still did not build anything beyond that smoke. So that's pretty brave. I would have thrown at least a turret in there, since you were building them around everywhere else. But yeah, well played. And I really wanted to point out a couple of things there, because I know your game is getting pretty good, and you need more than just play-by-play. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for listening. And if you aren't KillerB, this was probably an annoying thing to listen to, because it was mostly directed at him. So I don't care. Shut up. See you next time.